sperm gets the brain, and I'ma get it all.
And I've been waiting all my life just for this one night to show I can do it. So let's get to it. I got the heart of a champion. I got the heart of a champion. I got the heart of a champion.
Welcome back to Beacons 360. It's episode number 9. My name is Seth Dorensky, joined by a special guest. It's former volleyball coach Terry Condon. I know it's a new title for you. You just finished up your 12th season, announced after the second round matchup against Tufts University that you would be retiring and stepping down. Obviously, a little bit of a different feel right now, still adjusting to it, but what does it mean that this was your last season with such a successful season and also such a successful senior class?
Oh, I don't know. This was a good year. I just felt about October, it was time. It was time to step down and let Mike take over and see what he can do from there. I've done it too long, way too long. So it's time to go. And it was nice that the team did do well. I wish we would have gone a little bit further. But there was a great team, one of the best teams I think I've had as a team.
Looking back at your 12 seasons, you took over a program that had had very little success, 3 trips to the Elite 8, 7 tournament titles, 8 LEC regular season titles. Did you ever expect to have this kind of success, looking at the program's success prior to this, when you took over the position?
No. It's funny, Cheryl Aaron, who was here at the time, the volleyball coach, just quit. And she goes, oh, you want to do it for a year till we can hire someone? I said, okay, I'll do it. That team, no, they weren't the greatest volleyball players, but they tried really hard. And they wanted it really hard. They worked hard. They did everything I asked them to do. They just weren't the best volleyball players, but they were also a great bunch of girls to work with.
At what point did you feel like you guys were turning a corner as a program where it went from trying to build something towards actually knowing that it wasn't just going to be maybe a one-year run, it was going to be a series of successes in a row?
It's when we were able to recruit Cassie Hanneman and Kate McWhorter at the time, or Kate Carlson, she is now. They were our 2 big recruits that came in that started turning the program around. That, in turn, got Shannon Thompson, which then really turned us around, started us going on that uphill direction.
You're someone who everyone sort of sees what happens on the volleyball courts, but also you play a large role with all of the teams in your senior associate athletic director role. When you started, you were just in that role 13 years ago. You've seen so much change here on campus. What are some of the successes that you and Charlie Titus and some other members of the athletic staff have been able to put together that have been really impressive in your mind from when you stepped onto campus to today?
Well, I think back when I first started, all the coaches were part-time, and that hurt. We had a couple, I think, that were full-time, maybe men's hockey, and then Charlie was men's basketball. But once we were able to hire full-time head coaches, that just changed everything around. I think we have the best young recruiting staff, or coaching staff, definitely in the conference. I think in New England, our coaching staff I'll put any of them against anybody else's coach.
Well, one of the big advantages for the coaches that officially broke ground last week is the new dorm, which will become several new dorms. You're still going to be administrator here at UMass Boston for the foreseeable future. How much of an impact do you think those dorms are going to make in terms of making the recruiting a little bit easier?
I think it's going to be huge. It would be really big for the women. Mothers have a hard time sending their daughters to a school that doesn't have dorms. They're very anxious about it, and you really have to calm them down that it's okay. They'll be fine there. So I think dorms is going to be huge. Just having a lot of the complaints we get from athletes is there's not the student experience. Well, now they're going to get a real student experience. So I think it's going to help. It's just, I think 1,082 beds is not many beds for usually around 2,500 incoming freshmen. So it's going to be tight to see who can get those first beds.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for all the hard work you've put into the program and to this department. That was head coach Terry Condon. We'll be back after the break with an interview with UMass Boston track and field and cross country coach Consandria Walker.
she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
And today we are here with Consandria.
The campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
And we are back with Consandria Walker, the track and field for indoor, outdoor, and cross country here at UMass Boston. You guys had a meet this weekend, a very exciting meet for those that were there. Can you talk a little bit about some of the highlights from this week?
Okay, so I was very busy since I was the meet director, but some of the highlights that stood out after I saw the results were, of course, freshman Waterlyn Jonathas, who competed in the long jump, the 200 and the 400, as well as returners Dom in the dash, as well as newcomer Bless, and on the guy side as well, Stefan in the 200 and 400. Were some of the highlights. Also, our thrower, because we usually don't have many throwers, but so it was exciting to have Jake Hurdle in the throwing, and again, returner Cameron Chase in the distance events. So
in the last couple of years, the program has grown immensely with talent and numbers. Can you talk a little bit about how you're getting so many incoming freshmen that are really talented?
We have put a lot of effort in recruiting in the past couple of years. We had former athlete and assistant coach Henry Morales, who's in charge of recruiting. So he worked very hard on, ensuring that we were putting some time into recruiting. As you know, it's kind of tough for a sport that has 3 seasons, and for all of our coaches to be part-time, it's kind of tough to really dig into the recruiting. So having someone who's dedicated to the recruiting is definitely a plus with recruiting.
So to look at some of the younger individuals like Wadanlee Jonathas and Stefan Powell, they both won Rookie of the Week for the Little East Conference. Can you talk a little bit about their performance last weekend and where they really look to go for their goals this year?
Right. So the biggest thing for our first meet usually is not to put so much, expectation or stress on the athletes. So I myself really just wanted to see how everybody did, to be honest with you, because I didn't know where they would be, since we've only had probably 2 weeks of full practices indoors. So I didn't have a lot of expectation. I really just wanted them to go out there and show me what they can do given what we've worked on for the past couple weeks.
Well, a great mix of returners and newcomers for this year's track indoor and outdoor team. How is that really going to help you going forward?
So the biggest thing for us is, I always talk to my kids about looking beyond conference championships, because for us, compared to the other schools in our conference, we're a smaller team. So my goal for everybody is to always go beyond conference championships. So that's, qualifying for nationals and making appearances there. So having a good turnout good returner group, and also having a strong freshman group, it's going to be exciting. Right now we're just taking our time with our training cycles because I want to keep them healthy. Usually injuries kind of, pop up in BNAC. So I've been very slow in our training cycles, just because a lot of them are young and they've never been in the weight room and they've never done, some of the things that we're giving them to do. So I'm really looking forward to getting the returners as well as the freshmen to be as one as much as possible.
Well, if you didn't catch your Beacon track indoor team, they compete at the Reggie Lewis Center this weekend with the J Carousel meet, the Northeastern, your alma mater. Coach, thank you for coming out today, and good luck.
Thank you.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Welcome back for our final segment of Beacons 360. It's the top play of the week. This week we're going to look at women's hockey. It was their alumni day. It was Catherine Wall Paint the Rink day, and it was a great finish. The Beacons down 1-0-2-1. The game winner right there, Kateri McClellan in overtime, giving the Beacons a 3-2 victory.
Her first collegiate goal, obviously it's a snipe. She puts it in with her right foot, looks like she deflects it in. I mean, it's a great goal and for a great weekend for UMass Boston Athletics.
Yeah, Kateri was actually named the New England Hockey Conference Rookie of the Week. 3 Rookies of the Week this week, not a bad start for our winner teams as Kateri giving the Beacons the win, which is 53 seconds left. I'd like to give a shout out to our crew doing a great job as always here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. My name is Seth Orensky, joined by Steve Witkowski. Anthony Searles, your director. Alex Carasoto on graphics. Dave Wahlberg, your audio. We had 2 great guests today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.